Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome back to another episode of my Horizons playthrough. This pack's available on the Feed the Beast and Cursed Launchers. So, I'm kind of sad. This is the third time I've started to record this episode, and hopefully I actually get through it this time. Sadly though, my system might be taking a crap on me, because it's crashed twice while trying to record this episode, and I just don't know why. So I tore the system down and cleaned it out of the dust, and hopefully there was a bit of dust in the video card, and hopefully that will fix the issue. But if not, then I might be not putting out some videos for a while. We'll have to see. Hopefully I can debug it. Been able to fix it in the past. It's acted up like this before, and eventually it worked itself out. But I'm just not sure. Okay, so first of all, again, this is the third time I record this, so it's going to be kind of short and brief because I can't redo all the work or all the stuff that I did on camera in the last attempt. So I'm just going to have to go kind of quickly explain it, and you guys will see what's going on. Anyway, this right here is definitely producing more EE than this system over here. So I just want to point that out. That system, in the same amount of time, produces more EE than this system over here. So that is definitely the way to go. That's only with one jaw crusher. You could probably expand this out to have several if you wanted to produce more EE faster. Over here you can see that what I actually was doing this episode is I was doing some Aura Cascade, and this is still actually running because I gave it a block coal, so it's got a lot of time left on it. The other thing I did between episodes is I want to thank the viewer that pointed out that to make the qubit cell work, you just have to shift right click to activate it. And now that keeps my battle suit fully charged from the red flux field. And I've also gone ahead and applied 30 levels of enchanting in the enchantment table to each one of these pieces, and got some pretty decent enchantments on it. Protection 4, Flim Flam, Respiration, Thorns. Respiration's not going to matter since it already gives me water breathing. Fire Protection, Flim Flam, Thorns. Protection 3, Last Stand 2, and Thorns. They all got Thorns. I don't know. They all got Thorns, so if anything hits me, it's taking some damage. And Protection 4 and Thorns on my boots, so pretty good overall. I'm really impressed with the ability of this armor. It definitely is equal to or better than the cranked up clockwork armor that I had made and used for such a long time. So I'll probably be sticking with this now that I've figured out how to keep it charged all the time wherever I go. And then the other thing that about this episode, it was all about Aura Cascade. Aura Cascade's a pretty cool mod, adds its own book. You should start with this book in your inventory, I do believe. Has its own questing system. You can see that I've gone through and completed a bunch of quests, although it looks like some of them have become incomplete since I completed them. I completed this quest before. Very odd. Very odd indeed. No idea why it decided to do that. But so yeah, I guess what can I say about this, since I'm pretty much already done with everything. I'm at the point of having the vortex controller, and what do they call this system? They call this system something specific. It's a vortex infusion device. So it takes all these pumps. The pumps basically move, or the aura nodes will move the aura around. The pump down here is what actually pushes the aura up, and when the aura falls down, it generates power. So that's what's going on here. And I got that block up there because if I didn't have that block, all four of these systems would be interacting with each other, and I wanted them to be four independent systems, one on each side. So that's why that's up there. So there's no line of sight between those aura nodes and the ones straight across from them. Let's see. The other thing is a Cascade Smelter. Well, which requires basically about the same system, but instead of using one of these specialized vortex pedals, you would just use another aura node down here at the bottom, and then that aura node, when aura falls into it, would generate power that would be transmitted to a Cascade smelter. Let's see, I'll just set up a quick system. Actually, can I do that? Not without another pump. Well, the book's telling me I need to make a pump anyway, so why don't I grab a couple of lapis and make one more pump just for you guys. And I really hope that I don't have an issue with this recording again, because I was like just about to say, my ending when the system crashed last time. So I was really, I'm really sad. I'm like, not, yeah, everything's not going very well for me right now. So you need a consumer, which is like the Cascade smelter. Would be the vortex controller would be considered a consumer, I think. And there's a bunch of other consumers. If we look back here, power consumers. There's a fish here. There's thing that makes things grow. There's the looter, which isn't what you would think immediately. Basically, it generates random loot from dungeons, I believe. I think it's either from dungeons or mobs. Usually, it'll tell us real quick. Summons the loot from dungeon chests. Requires 5,000 power per second. That's a lot of power. We might actually get into trying to make that system later. That's, again, all this is contingent on whether or not my computer decides to continue to crap out on me or not. So all you need is this setup right here. You need at least 3 aura nodes and a pump, and that's going to allow you to utilize one of the power consumers. Now, the farther that the pump has to push things up, the less that it's able to do so, I guess, something like that. All these mechanics and everything are explained in the Encyclopedia Aura. If you go through the walkthrough, I highly recommend you check out that video. Very detailed, a very good video about all this stuff. So if you don't get enough from me, go check out that video. Read through all these things. Basic setup basically gives you, basically talks about what I've just showed you right here. And the different ways that you can store power, energy storage. Basically, if you interrupt the stream of power here, you can kind of store power. So if I was to put a block of some kind right on top of there, what's going to happen is this pump's going to end up pumping all the aura up to the top, and it'll kind of store it up there in those 2 aura nodes. They'll kind of distribute 50-50 back and forth. And then once this block is removed, the aura will start falling down again and generating power again. So that's what that's all about. Oops. Let's look. Power savers. There's power savers basically talks about how to use a monitor and some redstone signals, and you can utilize that. I think, what does it say? Turns the pump off. And turn the pump off when the job's done. So you can actually save your energy instead of just having to continuously pump around like I'm doing right now. Then vortex infusion. Okay, we're talking, this is back to the basics. You get into all the different kind of mechanics. Like I said, this book, it's well documented. Unfortunately, I'm just not feeling like trying to record another 30-minute episode of this, doing it again, since I just did it all, and I'm really sorry, guys. But anyway, I hope that I can work my issues out with the computer, and that it'll allow me to continue recording. It seems to be going good so far for this episode, but this is going to be an extremely short one. I don't know. I really can't afford to fix it, so I really can't afford to get a new one. I mean, but so I've just got to do whatever I can to keep this one running. Hopefully, cleaning it out, and I'm gonna double check the fans again, such like that, to make sure that everything's working properly and it doesn't continue to crash. It gives me but basically it gives me a blue screen. Anything I was doing at the time gets lost, so I've lost a lot of videos this way over the past year or so, as the computer gets a little bit older and starts to do this more and more often. And again, I've cleaned it up a few times, and that seems to have solved the issue for a while, but it goes back to doing it eventually. So yeah. The only other thing I'm going to say about Aura Cascade is the main reason I want to get into it is because I want to make this thing right here, the Sash of the Angel Heel, which requires this arcane prism, which requires that you make all of the the different colors of steel. You use the Cascade processor to make that different color of stuff. Let's just set this down somewhere, maybe. Wonder if I can. No, probably shouldn't do that. We'll set it down here. The arcane processor will allow us to process the different ingots. So what I would do is take for the red ingot, I would take one of these. I think it's a white ingot. No, it's a piece of iron and a piece of red dye or red wool, and throw it on top of there and provide it with power, like with one of these Aura setups. Provide this with power. This is a consumer, and I can get these different color of ingots. And then I can use those different color of ingots to make these arcane gems using the Vortex Infuser. You can see that I made one earlier when I was recording this the first time. Whoop, I guess that got consumed. And then on the pedestal. In order to make the arcane prism, you need one of each color of these gems. So you need a lot of, first of all, it's going to take a lot of time to process it. You're going to need different colors of wool. You're going to need different colors, because you got to use wool in order to make, wait, no, I guess you don't need wool. You just need the color. But you can use wool. No, actually, I think you do need wool. I think you do need the wool. Yeah, you throw an iron ingot and a wool of the appropriate color on top of the processor, and that will produce these colored ingots. Then you use those colored ingots to produce, with a diamond, to produce the green gem. Once you've got one of each one of those colors, you throw that back on top of the processor, which will give you the arcane prism. And that's what I want. I want the Sash of the Angel's Heels so that I can get my step assist in this pack. Okay, what other thing am I forgetting to talk about that I talked about when I originally recorded this? I can't remember. Anyway, I really apologize for such a crappy episode. Again, I'm just like a little bit distraught about my computer, so hopefully, and it seems to be going okay now that I've cleaned it up, but we'll see. If I suddenly stop posting videos, you'll know why. It's because my computer took a complete dump. But I think that's where we're going to wrap this up. It's going to be a short one. And, nice thing about the Aura Cascade is it's very well documented within the in-game book. So anything that you don't get from me, you can get just by reading. And that's how I pretty much got through all of this stuff. I just read through the whole book and discovered, how to do the different things and such. There's all these different angel steel stuff. I think that's also done in a processor. No, it's done in the arcane infuser. Something. Brewer. Enchanter. No, maybe it was the Fisher. No. In fact, it'll tell me right here, Angel Steel. Synthesizer. Arcane Cascade Synthesizer. There's one of these in here somewhere. Synthesizer. Yeah. Spawner. Synthesizer. There it is. Cascade Synthesizer is the other thing that you'll want to get into if you want to get any of these really cool or really powerful tools, weapons, and stuff. Honestly, I don't think they're really worth the time because there's better stuff in this pack, but if you're playing a magic based pack that had this in it and didn't have a lot of other options, this might be a good option for you. Some of these swords, special swords, they all do special things depending on what color of ingot you use to craft it, etc., etc. And then, yeah, I think that's the kind of touches on everything. and I need to wrap this up before I go too long and I lose the video again. So anyway, guys, I know you probably didn't enjoy this, but if you did, go ahead and leave a comment and like and such. Show your support. Go check out my I can't even beg very well. So yeah, if you feel like it, check out my Patreon page and you know, help me out. Try to get a new computer at some point. I think any funds that I get from that's what it's going to go to. Actually, I'm sure that's what it's going to go to. Fixing my system so I can continue to produce videos for you guys. Till next time, guys. I will catch you later.